Hello everyone, welcome back. So it's Sunday night again, time for another update, and things aren't still quite 100% here just yet, so there's not a hell of a lot to report this week, but as you can tell by the cover picture for this video, we did have the GT out and it hasn't exactly gone to plan. Now, we were saying in previous videos, we thought the last time this car was on the road was 10 years ago. It's actually 2011, so it's been sitting for a really long time. Managed to get the car registered and we took it out on the road, and I'll run through what we found there, but the old girl did stitch me up on the side of the road, so it's been a bit of an eventful few days. BA1, not a lot to report there. We've got the watts linkage and everything all sitting there to go back in the car. We're just waiting on some paint and a few things to paint the inside of the boot, touch all that up, and then she'll start to go back together. The Super Cheap Falcon, similar story. We're just waiting on some, basically some dyno time to free up and become available. Then we'll run the car, get the last of the bugs out of it, and hopefully then we'll get it dropped on a track and organise a driver and get that all happening. And FTR3, we've got a nice shiny new quarter panel, which you can see there, or a new old stock one, complete with the clear coat peeling off. So that's now all the OEM Ford panels that we've now got for the car. So we can now start to tie up all the supercar stuff. So there's bumper mounts and all sorts of things. We did get a different front bar for the car, which we'll have a quick look at in this video. And I'll run through what we've got to do there to, I guess, get FTR3 to the next step. So we managed to get our hands on this front bar. It's obviously an old second-hand AU Falcon front end, but it's got all the mounting points on it that we need to revert FTR3 back to how it ran in the year 2000. So when we pulled the car apart, it had this system on the car where those two box sections go into the rails, they bolt in, and the front bar screws in at the front. Now this, or FTR3, had this system, but it was after the Perth round in 2001 that it was adapted onto it. Now you can see in this bit of footage here, obviously the car had the front knocked off at Bathurst, but a few rounds later at Perth in 2001, it happened again. And it did cost FTR and Glenn Seaton a really good result for the weekend. It obviously put the car to the back of the grid for the next round, as the grids, the next race I should say, as the grids were progressive, and it just went pear-shaped from there. So just a little knock in the side from Craig Lowndes tore the front bar off. So they went back, modified it, came up with a far stronger system. Now we want to revert FTR3 back to how it was before they made that change. So this bar is set up for how it used to be, and what it's got at the back of it is, instead of two holes for the bar to screw onto, you can see it's got those composite sections that are glued in the back of it, and it's got 6mm threads hanging out of them. So a tube section bolts to the back of that, which we've got to fabricate. They slide into the rails, and then the only securing points for the bar are the two screws in the side. So this will be perfect for that. We can make up everything we need. Whether we use this bar or we get a new one made, I'm not 100% sure. The orange bar that we had with this car originally doesn't have those fixings, or they're not serviceable. So we're going to have to try and do something with that. Now, the mighty GT and what happened to it. So we dragged the car out, as I said, threw a battery in it, got it all ready to go for a long drive, just so we know what we've got ahead of us mechanically. Now, you can see here, we put the battery in, fired it up full of hope. GT, we're going to fire it up and see how we go today. So we're going to give it a good run today and see where we end up. It hasn't been really for a decent drive in over 10 years. So we've checked the oil, checked the water, and we'll see where we end up. Good luck. So we did about 100 kilometres or so, not a problem. sat really nicely on the road. There's not a vibration or a squeak. Everything was just really nice and everything was going swimmingly well. And I got stuck behind a car that was doing about 60k an hour up a hill, and the temperature started to climb. Now I got to the top of the hill and yeah, cruised down the other side, overtook the car, everything was fine. Happened again where I sat in a little bit of traffic and the car started to get hot. For whatever reason, even if you're doing 100k an hour and you sit behind a car, it starts to get seriously hot. And testing to see how far it'd go, it basically touched the red and I had to shut the whole thing down. So we've got an issue there with the radiator or the thermostat or something. Keeping in mind this car has sat idle for 15 years, and so there's obviously a gremlin there somewhere. We did put Welsh plugs in the car a little while ago so we could get the car to run. They were rusted out, but and obviously new coolant, and it was all flushed, but there's still an issue there somewhere which we'll need to get to the bottom of. Apart from that, it was absolutely gorgeous to drive. I absolutely love this car. The auto's been done, differential's been serviced, everything is just beautiful and nice and quiet. Considering it's done 210,000 Ks, it's yeah, it really does sit on the road really well. So from here, we're going to start cleaning everything up. Obviously, we'll get the interior done. That needs to be, you know, tidied up properly. We did spend a little bit of time just fiddling around with the door trims just to see if we can get a little bit better presentation. And as you can see there, they've come up pretty well. Now that was all covered in, you know, cigarette smoke, and the badge was quite scuffed up, and it's come up really well. So a lot of it will clean up, which is exciting, but there are things that are going to have to be redone, like there's a crack in the dashboard and a few other bits and pieces we're going to need to get tidied up. And also there's a few electrical issues with the demister that are popping in and out intermittently. So we'll yeah, see how we go, but it's, as I said, it's really exciting to see it on the road. As I said, bar the overheating issues, it's come up really well. So we'll start getting the front of the car out, we'll get the radiator out and see where we end up. Hopefully, as I said last week, we were hoping then, but things will start to move a little bit over the next week or so. I'm just physically a bit limited at the moment. And once we get past that stage, all the projects will start to move again. So thanks again, everyone, for your support. And we'll have more for you, hopefully, within the next week. And we'll keep you updated as we go. Thanks again.